Is it 15 bucks for the pair?
Yeah.
Most excellent. Steve's Raiders jacket. I want you to come to Earth so you can go to school and meet my friends.
Yeah,
Grab
like
that one too.
Star Wars?
I do.
There's one more.
Yep, I'll grab them both. It's right up my alley. Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm bringing you along with me for day number 2 of the world's longest yard sale. And in case somehow you missed the video for day number 1, I'll have a link to it down in the description of this video. I highly recommend you check it out because I found some awesome stuff on the first day. But today we are continuing down Route 127 for the second day of our trip, and I ended up finding some more really cool stuff, and I ended up having my favorite stop of the entire trip. So without further ado, let's hop into it. All right, this stop is huge. It looks like an entire fairgrounds full of vendors. So here we are, day number 2. I actually ended up getting a little bit of a late start to the day. I got out on the road around 10:30, and I decided to start the day here at the Van Wert County Fairgrounds. And as you can see, this place was absolutely jam-packed with various different vendors. There was probably around 100 different vendors at this one stop. There was people set up outside, there was people set up inside in a couple different buildings around the property, and as you might expect, with this many vendors all in one place, there's going to be a lot of really cool stuff to look at. However, you gotta keep in mind, these guys are usually professional vendors, which means the prices at these giant stops, at these fairgrounds like this, tend to be a bit higher. How much you asking on the Furbies? 45?
45 each. Just something, you know, that one's worth some money.
Like with these Furbies right here, I would have loved to pick them up for my girlfriend because she customizes them and then sells them on her Etsy store, but at $45 a piece, there just wasn't much meat left on the bone. Now with that being said, and knowing that the majority of people set up at this place are professional resellers themselves and most likely know the value of their inventory that they're selling, you still can find some good deals to flip for yourself, like with my first find of the day right here. I think those are Rockies. Yeah, S2V Rocky. These are decently expensive boots. They're $8 here. Yeah, Rocky S2V Special Ops. They're in good shape.
That's a good buy.
It is a good buy. I'll buy them.
You know them Rocky boots.
Yep.
They're outrageously high. That's probably about $100-something.
It is. So I ended up pulling the trigger on that pair of Rocky boots. They should be a good flip. I only paid $8 for them. And from there, I moved on to one of the outside vendors where I found a personal piece. Letters to ET. Oh, I might have to grab this for Felicia. I want you to come to Earth so you can go to school and meet my friends. For those of you who don't know, I am always on the lookout for old ET stuff. He is a frequent figure throughout our house, and this little book right here will be a nice little coffee table book just to have laying around. It's a fun little thing to add. And actually, after I looked this up, it turns out that this would have actually been a decent flip as well. What do you want in your little ET book?
$3.
How much? 3? It is. Would you take 2 for it?
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I had a bunch of ET stuff last year, and it blew up my table.
I would have grabbed it. I
had to rock 'em, sock 'em.
Oh, did you? That's awesome.
Yep.
I love ET stuff. You should see our house. We got the old plushes and stuff. It's great. I love them. And after making a couple more little personal purchases, I continued making my way around the flea market looking for stuff to flip, and I ended up seeing a bunch of really cool stuff like this 1970s Harley Davidson jacket, a box shuttle Zord from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and a ton more little collectibles that I would have loved to get my hands on, but prices were just a little bit too out of my range to flip. That is, until I walked past this booth and something awesome caught my eye. Look at that. New Tag Spice Girl. 1997. Is it 15 bucks for the pair?
Yeah.
I'll take those. At 15 bucks total, or $7.50 per hat, these were a no-brainer of a buy. There was no way I was going to leave these things behind. Those are just cool. 1997, new with tags. Didn't even want to haggle at 15 bucks a piece. I'm surprised those were still sitting there. And actually, at the time of me recording this video, I have already sold the white one for 50 bucks. I still have the black one available, and I know some of you guys out there were interested when I posted these on Instagram, so if you're still interested, hit me up. And after leaving that little building, I realized there was only a couple more vendors left to look at this fairgrounds, but look what I saw at the very next booth that I stopped in at. It brought this whole stop full circle.
How much are you asking on the Furby?
If you buy him, you get him free. He doesn't talk.
Oh,
He knows
okay.
everything else.
He just doesn't
So
talk?
for 15 bucks, you never both. Or give me an offer. He's hyper because
Yeah, he seems hyper.
he needs his batteries changed.
Kind of like this one. Would you do 5 on this one?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, I'll do that.
And with that, I secured a Furby. I didn't get one earlier in the day, but at least I got one from here. And that was not the only cool thing I got from this lady. Check this out. Most excellent.
This one's opened a little. That one though is in good shape. I think I'm gonna grab a pack of those. That'll be a good shelf piece.
These Bill and Ted cards aren't the most profitable flip out there, but they're still a cool item that I'm going to be able to add to my shop and make a little bit of money on, and they were the final pickup of our first stop of the day.
Alright, stuff was pretty pricey in that fairgrounds, but I ended up getting a few things, so I'm happy with that stop.
And after wrapping things up there, I didn't have to wait long for my next scores of the day. Right down the road from this fairgrounds, there was another yard sale where I ended up finding some awesome vintage pieces.
A Harley jacket. How much on that guy? 50 bucks. It's like if it's in good condition.
It is.
Yeah.
It is in very good condition.
It looks like it.
It is. I took good care of. We take good care of our stuff.
Yeah.
And you can't beat it for that price.
No, that's why she's like
And I'll
for
be
50
honest
bucks.
with you, I paid $300 for that.
Oh, I believe it. That's pretty cool. It's got a hole in the sleeve though, unfortunately. But Raiders though. Steve's Raiders jacket.
Can I put that in a sack for you?
No, I'll just carry it. Thank you all.
Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. No, I'm good, thank you.
And after leaving that sale with those two jackets, I continued my way down Route 127 where I stopped at a few more garage sales and picked up a few more little one-off items for a couple bucks a piece, like these Noble sneakers right here, a couple more long sleeve and short sleeve Harley Davidson shirts, quite a few of these big screen solitaire games for $1 a piece, which if these aren't on your radar, they definitely should be. Some of them go for between 15 and 20 bucks, and then that yellow and white one right there in my hand actually goes for between 30 and 40 bucks, so those are quick easy flips and you should definitely know about them. And then I also picked up this awesome UK leather jacket.
UK jacket. Leather. $5. There's a $5.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.
Yep.
Put this in the car real fast.
But then I decided to follow this random sign off the side of the road to a yard sale that said it was about 3 miles away, took me through some cornfields, and I ended up in a small town where one lady was set up and she ended up having a few more vintage pieces from the 90s that I was happy to grab.
What'd you want on the Cowboys jacket?
About $8.
How about I do that?
Are you a Cowboy fan?
I'm not, but I'm a starter fan. I love the old starter jackets.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
grab
you like
that
those
one too.
Vintage Star Wars?
I do.
There's one more. Yeah.
Yep, I'll grab them both. It's right up my alley. All the old vintage clothing. That's what I was hoping to find while I was out, so.
I was gonna say, I think I have
Alright, I think we'll go with those.
Okay, I've got you right at 20.
20 sounds good. Great.
All right.
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you. You need a bag or you good?
No, I'll just carry it over.
All right, well, great.
Thank you.
Have a safe trip.
I will. Enjoy your night.
And once again, I did end up posting a picture of these 3 pieces on my Instagram, and so far, the Cowboys jacket has already sold, as well as one of the Star Wars tees, so I still have one left. And you guys might have noticed she actually had an Xbox One sitting out there on the table, as well as that Pokemon case that I was hoping was going to have some Game Boys and stuff in it. Unfortunately, it ended up being empty, so I left those behind, but I was really happy with this little stop out in the middle of the cornfields. One of the biggest tips I can give to someone who is coming to one of these sales for the very first time is get off of the main road. Yes, you're going to find a lot of sales along the main stretch of highway that you're on, but a lot of times the best sales or the non-picked over sales are the ones that lie off of the main road. You know, follow the yard sale signs. If you see a little arrow, turn down that road, because it's more likely that less people and less resellers have also hit that sale, so you're more likely to find stuff at these off the beaten path places. And that advice right there couldn't be more true. In fact, just a mile or so more down the road, I saw some more signs, followed them through the cornfields, and ended up in this small little town right here. It looked like it was abandoned, but then I saw this sign right here that said yard sale, so I went and checked it out, and it turned out to be my favorite stop of the entire trip.
Look at this one, it's in an old building. Looks like it might have been an old antique shop or something.
Now, unfortunately, when I first walked in here, the music was cranked, so I am going to voice over this part so I don't get demonetized, but look at everything inside this building. There was everything that you could think of. There were tools, there were antiques, there was old toys, vintage kitchenware. There was something for everyone here. Now, some of the stuff you're seeing here wasn't actually for sale. It was part of his personal collection, but I did take my time in here and look through some of the stuff, like these knives here. I looked through like the Magnolite down bottom and stuff, and his prices were overall pretty good, about 30% off of eBay. So if you're buying for yourself, he had some great deals to be had. But then in the next room over, I spotted this clothing rack right here, and it turns out that was where the scores of the stop were going to happen.
This little LL Bean shirt. It's one of the chamois shirts. New with tags. Look at this. That's what I think it is. You see that inside there? Bangles. That's cool. I have to see what he wants on this stuff. Look at that one right there. Daffy on the Harley. Is that dated? Looney Tunes. I don't know, I can't read it.
It's out there, but
Look at that one. That's a cool one too. What are you asking on some of this clothing here?
That's one spot I ain't got to you. 5-piece.
Works.
Well,
You ain't got any more old clothing in any of the boxes around here, do you?
No.
That's why I'm out here hunting.
No.
What about on that Harley?
I 35.
35?
Yeah,
I'll give you 35 for that one.
that's worth it.
Yeah.
And after hearing the prices on those first few pieces that I picked out, I was definitely interested in hearing the prices on everything else on the rack. He did say that he wanted to keep some of the stuff for himself, like some of the leather jackets and some of the heavier stuff, which is totally understandable. But on the stuff that he was open to selling, he was pretty fair with the prices.
I think that means make a hell of a deal on them.
I just don't do fur.
You know what? And I thought people would go for that because when I got to the auction, you were going to buy it for $10, and I thought, so I took it up. I got it for 15, and you know what? It's people, the order of the people today. 35 years ago, then
It would've been hot. It would've been gone.
They would have killed.
Oh yeah. All right, I think I'm good with that stuff, unless you got some more hats or clothing hiding around here.
Oh, I got some old ladies' hats up front.
All right, so we were at 35, and 40, 45, 50. Just round that up. 55.
Good enough.
Sound good?
Yeah.
And actually, once I ended up getting done checking out here, we ended up sitting there and talking for a little while. He is a really cool guy, and he's got some really cool stuff, so I would highly recommend going in and checking out his shop if you're ever in this area of the 127 sale. It is totally worth the little trip out to this small town. He's an awesome dude.
This stuff is just awesome. Look at that. Vintage Harley, Looney Tunes Harley, brand new LL Bean, and this amazing embroidered Bangles jacket. Such a good stop. That's the second Harley jacket today too, and I like this one a lot better than the first one. The leather just has that old school feel to it. Oh, that was so cool.
And while that stop right there did end up being like the highlight sale of my trip for me, I still had this last sale that I want to show you guys before we wrap up. check this out. Over on this table full of old books, I ended up finding a stack of these old Dungeons and Dragons books, and anything Dungeons and Dragons usually has some value behind it. So there ended up being 12 books, and I ended up only paying 50 cents a piece on them. And those weren't the only cool things I found at this sale. This guy actually had this cart over here that had some new old stock clothing in it, like these old sweatshirts.
Look at these.
Some old t-shirts. And I ended up finding some new old stock hats as well from the 90s.
Okay, I got these and I'm good.
You okay?
That one.
12.
That works. Alright, thank you. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
And that, my friends, right there is where we are going to wrap up day 2 of the world's longest yard sale. Suffice it to say, I think I did pretty good today, especially considering I got off to a late start. I didn't even get out there till 10:30, and I still found a ton of awesome stuff. And hopefully those of you who went out to the sales also had a good day as well. If you did end up finding something cool out at the world's longest yard sale, let me know what it was down in the comments below. But that's going to wrap things up for me in this one. I hope that you guys all enjoyed. Please go down low, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one. Till next time, keep on treasure hunting. Peace!